Hello dear students. Today we are going to study The Black Aeroplane written by Frederick Forsyth. And this is the part 2 of your chapter 3, Two Stories About Flying. Let's read about the author first. Frederick Forsyth was born on August 25, 1938. He is a British author and occasional political commentator. He is best known for thrillers such as The Fist of God. Born in Ashford, Kent, Forsyth was educated at Tonbridge School and later he attended Granada University in Spain. The story The Black Aeroplane revolves around the mystery. Who was another pilot? The narrator was on his way to England, hoping to have a good English breakfast with his family, but he saw great storm clouds ahead of him. He risked to enter the clouds. As soon as he entered the clouds, everything turned black. Then he saw another aeroplane without lights on its wings. The pilot waved his hand to the narrator and asked him to follow him. The narrator followed the pilot of another aeroplane as his compass and radio both went dead. Even there was not enough fuel in his tank. So with the help of another pilot, he landed safely, and when he went to the receptionist to thank the pilot, he was informed by the lady that there was no other plane flying in the sky that night. So who was the person who saved him remained a mystery. Let's see the theme and message. There is a divine power that controls and guides human efforts. All of us do believe that whatever we do in life or whatever efforts are done by us, they are always controlled and guided by some divine power. The next is, one should not leave hope and give up in the face of difficult times. Like, we need to face our problems bravely. We should not leave hope and we should never give up. The title, The Black Aeroplane. The black color of the aeroplane arouses curiosity in the minds of the readers. The element of mystery is enhanced by the color black because the color black symbolizes mystery. The savior also arrives mysteriously in a black aeroplane. The pilot is also stuck amongst the black clouds. The experience of the pilot is as mysterious as the black color. So, the title is appropriate. The black color has a lot of significance in the title. Key details of the story. The narrator on his way to England. It was a clear night with a bright moon. He was flying his old Dakota aeroplane over France back to England, and the narrator was thinking about enjoying his holidays with his family. Then he thought of contacting the Paris control room in order to ask for directions for his destination, England. And in reply, the Paris control room guided him to turn 12 degrees west. The narrator followed all the instructions. He switched over to the last fuel tank he had, and he hoped to reach home in time for breakfast. And while flying the aeroplane, he was fantasizing about spending quality time with his family. Storm clouds. So suddenly when he reached 150 kilometers away from Paris, he saw a huge black and ominous cloud. He saw a big cloud that indicated something bad. The pilot was unable to fly over it, and moreover he also did not have sufficient fuel to circle around either south or north of it. But he wanted to reach home for breakfast, so he decided not to go back to Paris, and he took a big risk. And he flew his aeroplane Dakota, straight into the cloud. Everything changed suddenly. So as soon as he entered the cloud, everything was suddenly black. He was unable to see anything. The compass of the aeroplane stopped working. His other instruments went dead. He could not connect to the Paris control room. His radio was also dead, and he was totally lost in the storm. a black aeroplane came for help. So suddenly a black aeroplane was flying next to him. The pilot signaled the narrator, the pilot of another aeroplane, the black aeroplane, signaled the narrator to follow him. He turned his plane slowly towards north and flew ahead of him. The narrator also followed him like an obedient child. Landed safely. So both the aeroplanes flew for half an hour. Now, only enough fuel in the old Dakota's last tank to fly for 5 to 10 minutes. So only enough fuel in the old Dakota's last tank was left, and it could only fly for 5 to 10 minutes more, not more than that. Now the pilot of the old Dakota was terrified. But soon he found another plane going down, and at once he came out of the stormy clouds and saw 2 straight lines of light ahead of him. Now what were those 2 straight lines of light? It was a runway. The runway where the aeroplanes take off. He turned to look for his guide, but the black aeroplane had suddenly disappeared. Mystery about the black aeroplane. After landing, he asked the lady in the control room where he was and who the other pilot was, so that he could thank him. Now, the pilot of the old Dakota, the narrator, wanted to thank the other pilot. He inquired from the lady about him, but she looked at him strangely and she laughed and told him that there was no other plane or pilot. His was the only plane that would be spotted on the radar. Who helped the narrator to arrive there safely remained an unsolved mystery. The narrator could never find out who was the person, but he faced this difficult situation bravely. He kept his courage. His courage was guided by his faith. If he had not kept the courage at that time, how could he have believed that pilot of another aeroplane? This was all about the chapter. So here is some glossary for you people to refer to while reading the chapter. Thank you so much and God bless you.